never took an oath to protect and defend our nation. They just got on an airplane. And knowing full well what was happening, they found the courage and commitment to run forward in that airplane, sacrificing themselves over the fields of Pennsylvania to save Americans that they would never meet and never know. And I, for one, think of them every day and the gift of courage that they gave my squadron mates and I on that day. So as we come here together, let us reflect and let us never forget. Let us never forget the families who've shown us what true courage looks like as they continue to persevere through the years after. And let us all be inspired by the determination of those brave heroes who showed us that day what America is all about. And let anybody who ever considers attacking the United States remember those examples as well, and the great American warrior spirit that was shown that day. Thank you very much, and now it's my distinct honor to introduce our nation's Secretary of War. May we never forget our fallen. May we never forget our deployed. Ladies and gentlemen, the Secretary of War, the Honorable Pete Hegseth.
24 years ago, Islamist terrorists massacred nearly 3,000 innocent American lives in New York City, Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and right here at the Pentagon. The building you see behind me, the War Department, was targeted in an act of savage evil. And today on these hallowed grounds, we gather to honor those victims and heroes with the resolve to never forget. We gather to pay tribute to the first responders who charged into the flames and up the stairs, to those trapped on planes fighting their final fight, and to the families whose lives were forever altered by that fateful day. Like everyone in this audience, I remember exactly where I was when that first tower was struck. A college junior with a fresh set of Army fatigues in my dorm room closet, having just joined Army ROTC. Like too many Americans, I was naive to the threats brewing abroad and infiltrating our shores. But from that day forward, I felt an unshakable call to action, a duty to defend our sacred homeland with everything I had. Like all of you, 9/11 was the ultimate validator to serve. But I was not alone. An entire generation of warriors stepped forward, willing to pay the ultimate price to exact retribution and secure our country. Forged in the crucibles of Afghanistan and Iraq, we stood watch in distant lands on dangerous missions, often, in retrospect, nebulous missions, all to secure our people and so we could live in peace. War is an enduring aspect of the human condition, a tool that, when wielded wisely, ruthlessly punishes enemies intent on terrorizing or subjugating our nation. War must not become a mere tool for global social work, eager to risk American blood and treasure for utopian fever dreams. We should hit hard, wreak vengeance, and return home. For 2 decades, our warriors fought with valor every day, far from home, even though sometimes their leaders gave them nation-building missions and half-baked exits. Thankfully today, we have an American military that President Trump has now rebuilt twice. Yet despite the weight of history, the Department of War will always honor the service of our warriors and all they left behind, never straying from the warrior ethos they and those on 9/11 embodied and deserve. We best honor their memory and the memory of 9/11 by learning the correct lessons of that day and the decades of courage that followed. Full hearts, clear clear eyes. To every member of our War Department, past and present, you are the best, the real elite, the real 1% of this nation. Standing here today, we honor those 184 rings of the bell, souls lost at the Pentagon and on Flight 77. Even as first responders were grossly outnumbered by the wounded, many ran toward the chaos, cared for the injured, and comforted the dying. It was bedlam. But in that moment, American heroism was laid bare. That purpose, that spirit lives on in uniform today. Despite such tragedies, our republic endured. It endured that day. It endured on Flight 93, charging that cockpit and at the Pentagon. It endured over those Islamists. It endured over 2 decades of war, and it endured stronger, wiser, and tougher, forged by the blood and courage of patriots. Our job now is to ensure that future generations inherit a strong and vigilant America. 9/11 is vivid for me and all of you, but it will soon live only in the history books for our youngest. We must teach our children that the price of freedom we love is eternal vigilance. Instill in them the importance of upholding America's Constitution, holding tight to our freedom and our faith, and relentlessly pursuing our enemies. Prepare them to defend this nation by the ballot, the wallet, and when necessary, the cloth of our country, because the world remains a viper's nest. It requires us. As I speak, hostile elements plot to curb our power and slaughter our people in our homeland, in our hemisphere, and halfway around the globe. Not everyone needs to wear a uniform, but some of us do. That is our profession and our promise to this nation. In closing, a reading from Scripture, Romans chapter 5, verses 3 through 4. We rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, endurance produces character, and character produces hope. On this day, 24 years ago, we suffered. In the years since, we have endured. Our service and sacrifice have forged our character, and today we stand in hope for the future of our great nation. The young soldiers who take the oath give me hope. The young cops who wear the badge give me hope. The young firefighters who answer the call give me hope. The young agents who patrol our border give me hope. The life, example, and even death of Christ follower and American patriot Charlie Kirk give me hope. Sheer courage, no matter the arena. Charlie, we love you. We know that you have heard the Lord's words. Well done, good and faithful servant. Full heart, clear eyes. Like those on 9/11, he will never be forgotten. So I thank God for all of you and all of our fighters from that day to today and beyond. May God bless our warriors as they ruthlessly seek our enemies on behalf of the fellow citizens they love. We owe you and all of those who witnessed 9/11 nothing less. It is now my great honor to introduce to you our Commander-in-Chief, President Donald J. Trump.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much. Before we begin, let me express the horror and grief so many Americans at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk have felt. Charlie was a giant of his generation, a champion of liberty, and an inspiration to millions and millions of people. Our prayers are with his wonderful wife, Eric, and his beautiful children. Fantastic people they are. We miss him greatly, yet I have no doubt that Charlie's voice and the courage he put into the hearts of countless people, especially young people, will live on. I'm pleased to announce that I will soon be awarding Charlie Kirk posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The date of the ceremony will be announced, and I can only guarantee you one thing, that we will have a very big crowd. Very, very big. Thank you, my fellow Americans. 84 years ago this morning, the banks of the Potomac were filled with the clamor of construction workers who broke ground on the building, now known as the Pentagon, on September 11th, 1941. At the time, it was the biggest building ever built. From that moment forward, this structure stood as a monument to American strength, power, and cherished American freedom. Exactly 6 decades later, on September 11th, 2001, those same walls, built with the sweat and muscle, blood of our parents and grandparents, were scarred by flame and shaken by terror as our country came face to face with pure evil. On that fateful day, savage monsters attacked the very symbols of our civilization. Yet here in Virginia, and in New York, and in the skies over Pennsylvania, Americans did not hesitate. They stood on their feet, and they showed the world that we will never yield, we will never bend, we will never give up, and our great American flag will never, ever fail. That terrible morning 24 years ago, time itself stood still. The laughter of school children fell silent. The rush of our traffic came to an absolute halt. And for 2,977 innocent souls and their families, the entire world came crashing down so suddenly. In the quarter of a century since those acts of mass murder, 9/11 family members have felt the weight of missed birthdays and empty bedrooms, journals left unfinished, and dreams left unfulfilled. To every member that still feels a void every day of your lives, the First Lady and I unite with you in sorrow. And today, as one nation, we renew our sacred vow that we will never forget September 11th, 2001. Amid the horror of that morning, some used cell phones and office lines whispered their final words to those who mattered most. They whispered indeed. At 8:59 a.m. aboard United Flight 175, Brian Sweeney called his wife Julie. He told her, "Do good, go have good times. I totally love you. I'll see you again. I'll meet you up there." 4 minutes later, his plane hit the south tower of the World Trade Center. At 9:12 a.m. aboard American Airlines Flight 77, Renee May called her mom. Just the day before, Renee had learned that she was 7 weeks pregnant, but she never got the chance to share the news. She simply said, "I love you, Mom." 25 minutes later, Renee's plane struck the Pentagon. So violent a strike it was. At 9:53 a.m. aboard United Flight 93, Elizabeth Wayneo called her stepmom. They're getting ready to break into the cockpit. What do? I love you so much. They're going to break in. 10 minutes later, Flight 93 ended in the hallowed field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. At 10:25 a.m., Tom McGinnis was trapped on the 92nd floor of the North Tower when he told his wonderful wife Elena, on the phone, there are people jumping from the floors above us. We get out of here, it'll be a total miracle. I love you, darling. Take care of Caitlin, beautiful daughter. 3 minutes later, the tower fell. Out of the ash, we witnessed the awesome power of that incredible love. We've seen it rise again. Out of the wreckage, we watched unbelievable courage suddenly take form. And out of the darkness, we saw the timeless truth of American character shine for the world to see. In America, we take blows, but we never buckle. We bleed, but we do not bow. And we defy the fear, endure the flames, and emerge from the crucible of every hardship stronger, prouder, and greater than ever before. Last year, we were a dead country. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. In New York, there were heroes like Chuck Costello, a 46-year-old elevator mechanic, and a member of the Knights of Columbus. He selflessly ran into the World Trade Center to free people trapped in the elevators. His body was not found until the following January, deep under the debris. While going through his belongings, Chuck's widow, Mary, a phenomenal woman, discovered a personal prayer written in his own words, "Help me to light the way for those in the dark, and when I enter the darkness, let me not panic, but patiently wait to remember the light." Beautiful words. When the time came, Chuck ran boldly into the darkness of hell on earth, and now he shines in the light of heaven above. We remember him this morning. That day we learned that the American heroic spirit was all around us. We saw it in the police officers, the great firefighters, the service members, here at the Pentagon, and in the hearts of every American who answered history's call. One such hero was Army Sergeant First Class Steve Workman, who was on the edge of the impact zone when this incredible Pentagon was hit. He was right there. After leading hundreds of people to escape routes, Steve turned back and plunged into the inferno itself. Pushing through the debris, he came upon a severely burned Navy lieutenant, the only survivor from the Navy Command Center. Only one. The wounded lieutenant looked into Steve's soul and said, "Don't let me die." Steve replied, "I won't. I've got you. Just hang on." He wheeled the lieutenant out of the wreckage of the back of a maintenance cart before getting in the ambulance and taking him to Walter Reed Hospital. That man Steve saved, Lieutenant Kevin Schaefer, went on to join the elite team of CIA operatives who located Osama bin Laden. Steve, you're an American hero. We appreciate it. We appreciate what you've gone through. Please stand. Please stand. Good-looking man. Very good-looking guy. You remember that day. You remember that day. Good. Thank you very much, Steve. That was something. That was something. In the years that followed, America's warriors avenged our fallen and sent an unmistakable message to every enemy around the world. If you attack the United States of America, we will hunt you down and we will find you. Go all over this sometimes magnificent earth. We will crush you without mercy and we will triumph without question. That's why we named the former Department of Defense the Department of War. It will be different. We won the First World War. We won the Second World War. We won everything before that and in between. And then we decided to to change the name. Well, now we have it back to where we all want it. Everybody wanted it. Everybody is so happy to have it back. You will fail and America will win, win, win. The enemy will always fail. 24 years have passed since that Tuesday morning in September, and an entire generation of Americans have come of age in a totally different world. While they cannot remember the agony of that day, they are carrying on the legacy of those who lost. Around 8:30 a.m. on the morning of the attacks, Army Lieutenant Colonel Kip Taylor sent an email to his friends and family describing the joys of fatherhood and his excitement for the upcoming birth of his unborn son. He wrote, "After you have kids, there are days that you just get going and you say, 'Hi, honey, I'm home.' What we do until that moment pales in comparison, but just that little statement, 'Hi, honey,' so American, so beautiful." But that's really the point of it all, isn't it? An hour after he sent that email, Flight 77 flew into Colonel Taylor's Pentagon office and claimed the life of a very proud father and true patriot. 6 weeks later, on October 25th, 2001, Colonel Taylor's son, Luke, was born. Luke then tragically lost his mom to cancer when he was just 2 years old, leaving him to be raised by his father's brother. As a young boy, Luke asked his uncle about the folded flag on the bookshelf, and when he learned about his dad's decades of devotion to the Army and the horrors of September 11th, that's when he learned. Luke carried that memory with him and joined the ROTC as a college freshman. He graduated just last year, and I'm pleased to say he is with us today as a second lieutenant and doing very well. He's rising quickly in the infantry, preparing for Army Ranger School. The spitting image of his dad, they say, Luke says that every time he puts on a uniform, he feels connected to his father and to our country. But it was a father he never knew. Luke, your parents are together in heaven, and they could not be prouder of the man that they have produced. They produced you. Those two great people produced you. Luke, please stand. Thank you. You look good, Luke. You look good. They're looking down on you. They're very proud. This morning we recall the light of America's best and bravest and the love that they showed in their final moments. In their memory, we make a solemn pledge and a noble promise. We will honor always our great heroes. You are our heroes. There's a group of people that don't want to talk about our heroes, but we will always talk about our heroes. And that's the way our country is, and that's the way the people feel. We will defend the nation they served, the values they upheld, and the freedom for which they died. We will support our troops, we will protect our families, and we will preserve the American way of life for every future generation. We will build taller, grow stronger, fight harder, and soar higher. And together we will go forward as one people with one heart, one faith, one flag, and one glorious destiny under Almighty God. May God bless the memories of those who died and the heroes who fought and the soldiers who still stand watch. May God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the singing of God Bless America, and remain standing for the benediction.
Almighty and merciful God, gratefully we acknowledge your presence with us this morning and implore your presence day by day. Grant peace for those who grieve, wisdom for those who lead, and courage for those standing the watch for our nation. We implore your blessing, not asking you to conform to our will, but that you would align us with yours. Now may the Lord bless us and keep us. May the Lord make his face shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon us and give us peace. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please remain seated until the departure of the official party. Thank you for joining us this morning. The Pentagon Memorial and the Pentagon Memorial Chapel are open until 12 p.m.
Aisha Ann Harris.
Stuart D. Harris.
John Patrick Hart.
Eric Hartano.
John Clinton Hartz.
Emric Harvey.
And my father, David Michael Barkway. Although I didn't get to meet you, I've heard so many amazing stories from your loved ones. I've picked up your golf obsession, and I have your clubs, and I'm chasing your scores. My dad was a proud Canadian who loved his family, friends, golf, and his job at BMO. On behalf of my mom, my brother Jamie, and I, we love you and we miss you.
And my niece, Michelle Marie Reed, who would have turned 50 years young this July 9th, 2025. Even though it's been 24 years that we have been here living our lives without you, missing your infectious smile and your unbelievable zest for living each day to its fullest. Be it working at A&on, spending weekends with your family in upstate Shenango County on the farm, riding the trails on your ATV, or listening to the Grateful Dead, or enjoying photography. Your name is spoken daily with beautiful memories of your childhood and college events. We honor you today, along with the 2,976 others who perished on 9/11, and the family members and loved ones who stand before you today. Implore you to continue to educate our country, and especially our children, on this incredible importance of this historic day. God bless America. Thank you.
Peter Paul Hashim.
Thomas Theodore Haskell, Jr.
Timothy Sean Haskell.
Joseph John Hassan III.
Leonard W. Hatton, Jr.
Terrence S. Hatton.
Michael Helmut Hobb.
Timothy Aaron Haviland.
Donald G. Havlish, Jr.
Anthony Maurice Hawkins.
Nobuhiro Hayatsu.
James Edward Hayden.
Robert J. Hayes.
Philip T. Hayes.
W. Ward Haynes.
Scott Jordan Hazelcorn.
Michael K. Healy.
Roberta B. Heber.
Charles Francis Xavier Heron.
John F. Heffernan.
Michelle M. Heidenberger.
Sheila M. S. Hine.
H. Joseph Heller, Jr.
Joanne L. Helta Bridle.
Ronald John Hemingway.
Mark F. Hemscott.
Ronnie Lee Henderson.
Brian Hennessy.
Edward R. Hennessy, Jr.
Michelle Marie Enrique.
Joseph Patrick Henry.
William L. Henry, Jr.
Katharina Henry Robinson.
John Christopher Henwood.
Robert Allen Hepburn.
Mary Herencia.
Lindsay C. Harkness III.
Harvey Robert Hermer.
Noberto Hernandez.
Raul Hernandez.
And my father, Charles Gregory John. I'm grateful for all the memories we got to share, but wishing we had time to make new ones. Missing you dearly.
And my brother, Barry Simowitz. Barry, we miss you, we love you, and we think about you all the time.
Gary Harold.
Jeffrey Allen Hirsch.
Thomas J. Hetzel.
Leon Bernard Haywood, MC Sundance.
Brian Christopher Hickey.
Emencio Dario Hildego Cedino.
Timothy Brian Higgins.
Robert D.W. Higley II.
Todd Russell Hill.
Clara Victorine Hines.
Neil O. Hines.
Mark Hindi.
Kuatsu Harai.
Heather Malia Ho.
Tara Yvette Hobbs.
Thomas Anderson Hobbs.
James J. Hobbin.
Robert Wayne Hobson III.
Dewan Hodges.
Ronald G. Horner.
Patrick A. Hoey.
John A. Hofer.
Marcia Hoffman.
Stephen Gerard Hoffman.
Frederick Joseph Hoffman.
Michael L. Hoffman.
Judith Florence Hoffmiller.
Wallace Cole Hogan Jr.
Thomas Warren Holwick Jr.
Jonathan R. Homan.
Cora Hidalgo Holland.
John Holland.
Joseph F. Holland.
Jimmy I. Holly.
Elizabeth Holmes.
Thomas P. Hollahan.
Herbert Wilson Homer.
Leroy W. Homer Jr.
Bradley V. Horn.
James P. Hopper.
And my sister, Carol Ann Kiesler. We love you. I can't. Go.
And my brother, firefighter Michael Francis Lynch.
Montgomery McCullough Horde.
Michael Joseph Horn.
Matthew Douglas Horning.
Robert L. Horojo, Jr.
Michael Robert Horrocks.
Aaron Horwitz.
Charles J. Houston.
Ruhu G. Houston.
Angela M. Houts.
George Gerard Howard.
Brady K. Howell.
Michael C. Howell.
Stephen Leon Howell.
Jennifer L. Helly.
Milagros Ramada.
Marion R. Richek.
Stephen Husko Jr.
Chris Robert Hughes.
Paul Rexford Hughes.
Chris Robert Hughes.
Thomas F. Hughes Jr.
Timothy Robert Hughes.
Susan Huey.
Lamar Demetrius Hulse.
John Nicholas Humber Jr.
William Christopher Hunt.
Kathleen Ann Hunt Casey.
Joseph Gerard Hunter.
Peggy M. Hurt.
Robert R. Husa.
Stephen N. Highland Jr.
Robert J. Himmel.
Thomas Edward Hines.
Walter G. Hines.
Joseph Anthony Ianelli.
Zutu Ibis.
Jonathan Lee Ielpi.
Michael Patrick Eichen.
Daniel Ilkenakiv.
Frederick J. Ill Jr.
And my uncle, Robert R. Talhami. I will forever cherish the memories we made at the shore. Your family loves and misses you. We live in your honor every day.
And my uncle, Arnold Arboleta Lim. Although my twin brother, Liam, and I didn't get the chance to meet you, I know you would have been a great uncle to us, based on the stories our mother, Lynette, would tell us about you. Not a day goes by where our family doesn't miss your presence, your smile, your kindness, and your love for your family. I hope you continue to watch over us from above, and just know that we are always thinking about you, and that your family will be okay. We will continue to live on your memory. We love you very much, Uncle Arnold.
Abraham Nathaniel Elowitz,
Anthony P. Infante, Jr.,
Louis S. Inglaterra,
Christopher Noble Ingracia,
Paul Inella,
Stephanie Veronica Earby,
Douglas Jason Eargang,
Kristen Irvine Ryan,
Todd Antione Isaac,
Eric Hans Isbronson,
Taizo Ishikawa,
Walid Joseph Iskandar,
Aram Iskandarian Jr.,
John F. Iskian,
Kazushige Ito,
Alexander Valerievich Ivansov,
Lacey Bernard Ivory,
Virginia May Yablonsky,
Brian C. Jack,
Brooke Alexandra Jackman,
Aaron Jeremy Jacobs,
Ariel Lewis Jacobs,
Jason Kyle Jacobs,
Michael G. Jacobs,
Stephen A. Jacobson,
Stephen D. Jacoby,
Ricknoth Jaggernoth,
Jake Dennis Yagoda,
Yudvir S. Jane,
Maria Yakubiak,
Robert Adrian Jalbert,
Ernest James.
Griselda E. James,
Mark Stephen Jardim,
Amy Nicole Jarrett,
Muhammadu Jawara,
Francois Jean-Pierre,
Maxima Jean-Pierre,
Paul Edward.
Passed from living memory, it is our hope that this all-inspiring memorial, created through the tireless efforts of so many, will allow future generations to embrace the powerful story of Flight 93. As life continues to grow here in this beautiful field of honor, so does our hope that future generations will learn of the extraordinary actions of 40 ordinary people and be inspired to act with the same unity and courage to face their own challenges today and forever. Thank you.
You saw that day from NYPD, Port Authority, FDNY, what you saw with the military and the Pentagon, these were people, and even what you saw, and these people don't get as much credit, you know, you had people that were working in the World Trade Center towers, business guys, executives, and there were a number of them who could have just simply left, but they were out there rescuing the other people in their office. And many of them died as a result of their selflessness because they cared about getting others to safety and they were willing to risk their own safety in the process. It's important for our kids to know that on the worst day, where the worst evil was put before us, we saw some of the best that this country has to offer. We saw true heroism. We saw selflessness. We saw people run into the fire, and that is not something that happens every single day. We also, I think, are looking at this 24 years later. That attack was an exterior attack with people that were emanating from foreign lands with a foreign ideology. And, yesterday we saw the assassination of a young political leader, Charlie Kirk, who I knew, many of you probably knew. And you see some of the evil that's lurking within. And we've got some problems in this country. You can have disagreements. Sometimes these are really fierce disagreements. But the viability of a republic really depends on our ability to fight those battles in the proper arena, leading into voting, leading into debate, all that, and then being able to move forward as one country. And what happened yesterday was somebody that was assassinated just because they were bringing different viewpoints to college campuses. It isn't easy to go onto college campuses and express views that Charlie have, or for me, for that matter, that you go in. That's usually pretty hostile terrain. But he always did it in good faith. He always wanted to have a free exchange of ideas. And the response to that, if you don't like it, is not to shout or scream someone down. It's not to create unrest so that the mob makes the event not happen. And it is certainly not that you kill somebody in order to silence them. So let's not So as we commemorate the lives we lost that day because of that terrorist attack, and as we recognize the evil that was present in this country as a result of this external force and this external ideology, let's not now, 24 years later, succumb as a country to some of those forces inside our country who are really trying to upend what America's all about. I'm really thankful to have gotten to know a lot of folks who were in service on 9/11. Other than the New York City, greater New York City area, there's more veterans of 9/11 in Florida than anywhere else by a country mile. And that's part of the reason we were able to do the curriculum, because you had so many folks who were able to participate and provide input so that we're able to do that. So here we are 24 years later. As a dad, my wife and I, we want to make sure our kids understand what happened that day and the significance. As a governor, I've used the authority I have to make sure that all of our school children are exposed to the truth, that they understand the heroism that was involved in combating the evil that day, and that they will resolve to never forget what happened to our country. I appreciate you guys doing this every year. I've been able to come to a number of these. It's a great community, but I think it really speaks volumes that you turn out year after year to be able to commemorate the folks we lost on that day, and then, of course, that have succumbed to illnesses in the ensuing years. So thank you. We appreciate everybody that's doing this, and thank you, everybody who's currently in uniform running into those fires on our behalf. We never forget your sacrifice. Thank you, guys. God bless.
Thank you, Governor, for sure. Please welcome the East Lake High School Madrigal Singers, led by choral director Robert Nabel, to offer a special version of God Bless America. And Robert, I hope you don't mind me sharing this story. Students behind me were born in roughly 2008. But Robert, because of their talent and Robert's leadership, they were able to perform last year in New York City, and I am told they have visited the memorial. So they are here because they want to be, and because they know this means a lot to you guys, and it means something to them too.
Let us swear serve. I'm my son, FDNY paramedic Carlos Leo. I'm here honoring him. The loss of the son is something very painful for any parents. Only the parents that have and pass with the situation understand my feeling now. My son was give his life away, saving other people's life. You don't imagine how many people he took out, give the first aid, and send them to the hospital. Today we celebrate the 24th anniversary of that Black Tuesday on September 11, where this country was attacked by those group of terrorists. And so many people, innocent people, died. I will never forget that day, and for me, I feel like it's today, yesterday. The feelings are the same. The loss of the son is something very painful, and I ask God to give me ¿cómo se dice? To understand that my son is not here with me anymore. I don't care how many years already passed, I never forget you, son, and you are always in my heart.
And my uncle, Lieutenant Ronnie E. Geese of Squad 288, who is also my best friend and confidant, a loving, affectionate, loyal husband, amazing, devoted father, son, brother, uncle, son-in-law, brother-in-law, now grandpa, great uncle, and always a true friend. Life has never been the same and will never be the same. You are thought about every minute of every day. Your presence, especially your blue eyes, your handsome smile, and contagious laugh are truly missed. Thank you for guiding me daily, especially for the last 14 months. God bless America.
Andrew James Knox.
Thomas Patrick Knox.
Rebecca Lee Kabori.
Deborah A. Kobus.
Vietnam veteran Gary Edward Keckler.
Frank J. Costner.
Ryan Cohart.
Vanessa Lynn Shibalo Kolpak.
Irina Kopakova.
Suzanne Rose Kondratenko.
Abdullah Kone.
Bon Siok Ku.
Doroto Kopetko.
Scott Michael Kopitko.
Bohan Kostic.
Danielle Kusulis.
David P. Kovalchin.
John J. Kren.
Firefighter William Edward Krukowski.
Ludmila Kasita.
Toshia Kuge.
Shakar Kumar.
Kenneth Bruce Kumpel.
Frederick Koo Jr.
Patricia A. Kuras.
Noka Kushatani.
Firefighter Thomas Joseph Kuvakis.
Victor Kawarkai.
Raymond Kui Fei Kwok.
Angela Reed Kite.
Andrew Lacourte.
Carol Ann LaPlante.
Jeffrey G. Latouche.
Catherine L. Labori.
Amarnath Lachman.
Ganesh K. Ladka.
James Patrick Ladley.
Joseph A. LaFalce.
Jeanette Louise LaFond Minichimo.
David James LaForge.
And my grandfather, Firefighter Alan Terasarich. I'm honored to have you as my grandfather. All the stories I've learned about you makes me not surprised I've come here to say your name. People say I look like you and have your humor, but one day I hope they say that I grew up to be like you. I love you, and I wish I knew you.
And my grandfather, James J. Corrigan. And my grandfather, FDNY Captain James Corrigan. We miss you every day and wish you were still here with us. I hope we have all made you proud.
Michael Patrick Lafort.
Alan Charles LaFrance.
Juan Mendez Lafuente.
Neil Quan Wale.
Vincent Anthony Lienta.
William David Lake.
Michael S. Lamana.
Chow Quan Lam.
Amy Hope Lamonsoff,
Stephen Lamontia,
Brendan Mark Lang,
Robert T. Lane,
Vanessa Lang Langer,
Roseanne P. Lang,
Peter J. Langen,
Mary Lou Langley,
Michelle Bernadette Lanza,
Thomas Michael Lagon,
Ingeborg A. D. Larrabee,
Ruth Sheila Lapin.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. It is a privilege to join you today as we honor the thousands of lives lost and the countless sacrifices made on this date 24 years ago. I want to thank Hillsborough County Fire Rescue, Hillsborough County Consumer and Veterans Service, and the Veterans Council of Hillsborough County for organizing this remembrance. Not only does this ceremony help to keep the memory of this solemn day alive, but it also gives us something new to reflect upon each year. The focus on sharing the impacts of 9/11 with our youngest residents helps tremendously to keep the memory of that day alive and to ensure the lessons of history are passed on to the next generation. I also want to thank the military leaders and JROTC cadets and all the young people who are here today who weren't even born in 2001 who have joined us today. Their presence underscores the importance of this program. I cannot thank our veterans and active duty military enough for their service to our country and their dedication to securing freedom every day for our nation. I'm sure most of you, like me, remember what you were doing on September 11th, 2001, when these horrific acts unfolded. Those moments are burned into our memory, and each of us relive them in our own ways. I often think about the people who went to work that day in the World Trade Center, expecting to return to their homes and their families after another routine day at the office. I was in the private sector at the time in the financial industry, and our firm worked closely with many who were lost that day. Since then, several of us travel throughout the country and attend 9/11 ceremonies such as this. And this year, we're proud to be attending the ceremony here in Hillsborough County. I often think about the first responders who, without hesitation, ran into towering infernos, not knowing whether they would return to their homes and their families, and then went back in undeterred, and in fact, more determined than ever. This is the epitome of courage. Despite facing this evil, first responders and civilians alike performed heroic acts that inspired us as a nation and made us want to do something to help. Their acts of heroism reinforced who we are as Americans, and in many cases reshaped us as stronger than ever while facing great danger and uncertainty. We will never forget the people who lost their lives that day, and we will never forget all the heroes for their acts of bravery. Thank you all who organized this meaningful and commemorative event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wise. Next, from District 4, please welcome Hillsborough County Commissioner Christine Miller.
Good morning. I'm honored to be here with you today and speak and pay tribute to those who we lost during one of the most consequential moments in the United States has ever faced, the 9/11 terrorist attacks. These attacks resulted in the deaths of over 3,000 people at the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and in a field in Pennsylvania, surpassing the losses our country faced during the attack on Pearl Harbor, which began our involvement in World War II. 9/11 was an event that will forever be a part of our nation's legacy, an event filled with tragedy and courage, but it also symbolized our perseverance. After this incident, an amazing but not unexpected thing happened. We as a people came together to heal, to recover, and to rebuild. That is the true power of perseverance. President Ronald Reagan once said, "From times of hardship, we've always emerged with a renewed sense of confidence and determination to meet and to conquer whatever challenges lie ahead." Those wise words perfectly capture how our country, state, and Hillsborough County came together after 9/11. In addition to perseverance, our nation cherishes the act of always paying tribute to those we lost. On October 25th, 2001, a bipartisan bill to make September 11th a national day of mourning was introduced in the U.S. House of Representatives. The result was a resolution to proclaim September 11th, 2002 as the very first Patriot Day. Every year since September 11th, Americans have come together to remember and to honor the lives we lost on this awful day. It is also a national day of service and remembrance to recognize the acts of courage by our first responders and ordinary citizens who were just going about their daily lives on that fateful day. Patriot Day also fosters unity and resilience, and it helps us reflect on 9/11's enduring impact on the nation. Hillsborough County will always come together during times of crisis. 9/11 was one of those times, and we all pray that we never have an event like this happen again. After 24 years, all of us, especially the families of those we lost, will continue to persevere to heal and to remember and to honor our heroes from 9/11. It is an honor and privilege to be here with each of you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Miller. From District 5, countywide, please welcome U.S. Army veteran Commissioner Donna Cameron Cepeda.
Thank you, and good morning. It's truly a privilege to be here today at this remembrance ceremony. As a veteran of the United States Army, it really touches my heart to be speaking at this Veterans Memorial Park. This park not only honors all the brave men and women in the armed forces who defended and gave their lives for our country, it also serves as a symbol of the courage and sacrifice of those we lost on 9/11. Also known as Patriot Day, it's a day that all of us will remember for the rest of our lives. On that fateful day, we lost over 3,000, in addition to those who were simply living their daily lives. We lost 343 firefighters and paramedics who responded to the attacks, as well as 23 New York police officers and 37 Port Authority police officers. Further, we lost more than 2,300 troops who acted in defense of this nation during Operation Enduring Freedom. But with all the loss and sorrow, something else rose from the ashes of this tragedy: hope, perseverance, and love. Our nation came together to stand strong against those who wanted to destroy our country and everything it stands for, especially our values. Our nation comforted the survivors and families of the victims, helping them heal and endure their pain. Our nation worked to rebuild what we lost and to strengthen our defenses, assuring that what happened on 9/11 will never happen again. For the past 24 years, all of us have continued to heal, grow stronger, and reinforce our faith that the United States of America will continue to thrive as the most prosperous country in the world. All throughout the scripture, God says that love, you'll see this theme of love all throughout the scripture. And it's just amazing that if we don't have love, God says it's like a noisy cymbal, clanging brass. But I know that all of you here today are here because you have that love for your fellow man. And it's so important. And I know that's what brought us together, as a nation when these attacks happened, on 9/11. And the love of God, is just so amazing. And I'm so thankful, that you're here, that you care about our fellow man, our community. Just so amazing, all of you, your hearts, and I really love all of you. Really grateful for all of you. And he says that, we should love God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love our neighbor as ourself. And I know that's just what you all are doing, and I'm so thankful for that. And also, please remember to pray for those family members that have lost loved ones from the 9/11, and also for our veterans that have lost loved ones as well. God bless you, and I love you all.
Thank you, Commissioner Cepeda. And from District 6 countywide, we'd next like to welcome Commissioner Chris Bowles.
Good morning, everyone. This day has a little special meaning for me in a couple different ways, but I'll tell you a little about that. But it is a privilege to speak here at the park and to join you all in honoring and remembering the thousands of victims, their survivors, and also the thousands of service members who have displayed incredible courage and selflessness in the face of the terrorist attacks and the tragedy in the years afterwards, because they were not only those who were killed, but those that came back who were also maimed. We need to keep those in our prayers as well. As many of you may know, before my election to Hillsborough County Commissioner, I served this community as a proud member of Hillsborough County Fire Rescue for 28 years. In the fire service, the bonds we form with one another can be unbreakable. These men over here and women can attest to that. We look out for each other. We celebrate our successes together. And when we lose our brothers and sisters, we grieve together. However, today, we're all going to remember together. In my office, I keep a small memorial. It consists of 4 items. I have 2 photographs and 2 pieces from the pile, or as many of you may know, called Ground Zero. It serves as a daily reminder of the sacrifices of ordinary and extraordinary people. It reminds me of those who perished and of the survivors who still carry the weight of that day. These 4 things represent so much to me: the strength and fragility of life, the power and vulnerability of enormous objects, and the camaraderie and kindness of friends and strangers. So on this day for me each year, I reflect on what I witnessed and what I experienced and what I have to carry forward from my 20 days I spent on the pile. And I try my best to honor those victims of the terrorist attacks and to remember and pray for those who have survived. So today we honor the loss of life and the incredible courage of first responders, of our military personnel, and everyday civilians who leapt into action that day to save others and prevent further devastation and destruction. Their sacrifices were unimaginable. Their actions were truly heroic, and their legacy forever changed this nation for the better. We owe it to them to never forget. After those attacks, though, our country did come together in a way that is sadly missing today in our society, made all too apparent, even if you look at the actions of yesterday. Horrid actions. However, my hope is that soon, we as Americans in our society will recapture that spirit of unity and togetherness once again. I'd like to thank Fire Rescue, Consumer and Veteran Services, and the Veterans Council of Hillsborough County for this extraordinary program that they have been putting on each year. And I thank all of you for taking time out of your day today to join us. God bless.
Thank you, Commissioner Bowles. Next up, please welcome from District 7 countywide, U.S. Navy veteran, Commissioner Joshua Wostel.
Good morning, everyone. I'm very moved today to see so many youth here with us. it's a value that can't be lost upon us about the importance of passing down laws to the younger generations. No disrespect to the first responders and even myself. If you look at our hairlines, eventually we have to retire, and we're going to depend on you to replace us. If we're the bricks of society, our first responders are the mortar, the glue that holds us together. They're the fabrics of our community that are always engaged day to day, not just endangering themselves, running in and displaying courage to burning down buildings. It's the traffic stops on our streets to keep us safe, and that never knowing of what danger might present itself. I'm deeply grateful to the men and women of every uniform, and I ask you to display the courage that these men and women display every day. Courage is infectious. It will spread to your peers among the youth. It will promote you to have the integrity to display that courage when no one's looking and promote the safe society that we all know too well seems to be slipping away. I would be remiss to not use this podium today, so soon after the violence that was displayed in our nation yesterday, to have a brief moment of silence for the assassination of one of the largest provocateurs of faith, family, and freedom, Charlie Kirk. So please join me in a brief moment of silence to honor him and his sacrifice. Thank you. Faith, family, and freedom, the core values of the American people. Freedom is ever fleeting. You have to chase it. 9/11 is the reminder that this nation has very serious enemies that have no desire for you to enjoy those freedoms. They want to take it from you, and it's up to the youth to love this nation, to love those values, and always have the courage to chase freedom that is ever fleeting. I'm so grateful for all of you to be here today and enjoy this memorial ceremony and for the sacrifice of our first responders, not just on 9/11, that didn't have the opportunity to hug their wife and their kid like I did, but sacrifice and endanger themselves every single day in our community. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Commissioner Wostel. We appreciate leadership being here. 9/11 is an especially solemn occasion for fire service professionals. Their chiefs come together each year here at the Veterans Memorial Park alongside members of our Unified Honor Guard. Please welcome our county's own dedicated team leader. They call him Doc at the Hillsborough County Fire Rescue, Chief Jason Dougherty.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Before I dive into my speech, I want to take a second to thank every single person, from our leadership to all of you in the audience, for making this happen today. This doesn't have to happen, but without your leadership, it does. It brings us together as a team, as a family, and as a group to remember the tragedy of 9/11. So I want to thank all of you. Thank the county administrator and her team. Thank Frank Strom. Thank everybody. God bless all of you. God bless Hillsborough County. And God bless the United States of America. It's an honor to be here in observance of the sacrifices of our nation endured 24 years ago. I'm accompanied by our Unified Honor Guard, an important symbol of the family that defines the fire service. The Unified Honor Guard is comprised of members of Plant City, Temple Terrace, and Hillsborough County. The many monuments here at Veterans Memorial Park include Iraq and Afghanistan, references to our nation's longest war following 9/11. Today we give reverence to a section of steel beam recovered from the rubble of the World Trade Center. The Hillsborough Veterans Council secured this historical artifact as part of the nation's vow to never forget. Bringing the item here to the Rear Admiral Leroy Collins Jr. Veterans Museum was a legacy mission by many military veterans to remind future generations. You may have noticed the same sentiment printed on fire trucks across the nation that simply reads, "Never forget." We pause now as our Unified Honor Guard surrounds the beam in a solemn respect to those lives lost in the fall of New York World Trade Center's Towers 1 and 2. We remember and honor the many civilians, first responders, and military members as a result of the 9/11 attacks.
The men and women of today's fire service confront an increasingly dangerous work environment, faced with weather events, wildfires, violence, terrorism, and carcinogens. As professionals, we continuously update strategies, training, and tactics to improve our outcomes. Our organizations welcome new talent enthusiastically to join the fire service. While our methods evolve, our goal has remained the same: to save lives and protect property. Many people wonder the motives of firefighters to serve at our own peril, but this call to duty is a chosen profession. And while we celebrate advances in technology, the fire service itself remains steeped in traditions that date back to 200 years. One such tradition is called the ringing of the bell. Back in the day, the bell sounded when firefighters began their tour of duty, signaling the beginning of the day's shift. Throughout the day and night, each fire alarm was sounded with the ringing of the bell. This very sound summoned to duty the brave firefighters who fought treacherous fires for the good of their fellow citizens. When the fire was out and the alarm came to an end, it was at that time the fire service bell that signals everyone that the emergency was over.
Tradition holds that when a firefighter has paid the supreme sacrifice and died in the line of duty, the mournful toll of the bell announced that comrade's passing. To this day, modern firefighters still practice their tradition to reflect, honor, and respect for those who've given so much and served so well. To recognize the devotion of brave souls putting themselves in jeopardy, a special signal of 5 rings, 3 times each, represents the end of a comrade's duties. Those 15 rings in total signal the return to quarters. The tradition continues, ringing the bell for those who selflessly gave their lives to serve their communities, their tasks completed, their duties well done. To our comrades, the bell is their last alarm, for they are going home. Our local fire service honor guards routinely conduct this bell ceremony to respect and memorialize fire service members. On this 24th anniversary of 9/11, we now honor the 343 of FDNY, Fire Department of New York, 5 rings, 3 times, 15 rings for the fallen.
In honoring the victims of 9/11, we also remember the 189 souls lost in the American Airlines Flight 77 attack on the Pentagon. Those lost that day included tourists, students, and teachers on a field trip to D.C. The attack was just 26 minutes before the crash in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, that killed all 33 passengers and 7 crew members aboard United Airlines Flight 93. This
Mary P. Melendez,
Christopher D. Mello,
Yelena Melnichenko,
Stuart Todd Meltzer,
Diarelia Giovanna Mena,
Dora Marie McChaka,
Charles R. Mendez,
Lisette Mendoza,
Siobhan Olicia Mentis,
Wolfgang Peter Meltz,
Steve John Mercado,
Wilfredo Mercado,
Wesley Mercer,
Ralph Joseph Mercurio,
Alan Harvey Merdinger,
George L. Marino,
Yamel Josephina Marino,
George Mercurios,
and my wife, Deborah Kaplan. Debbie, we love you, we miss you, we think about you every day.
and my mother, Maxima Jean-Pierre. We miss you dearly every day.
Deborah Merrick,
Raymond Joseph Metz III,
Jill Ann Metzler,
David Robert Meyer,
Nurul H. Mia,
William Edward Michuli,
Martin Paul Michaelston,
Patricia E. Mickley,
Ronald D. Milan,
Peter Teague Milano,
Gregory Malakovich,
Lukasz Tomasz Milewski,
Sharon Christina Milan,
Corey Peter Miller,
Craig J. Miller,
Douglas C. Miller,
Henry Alfred Miller Jr.,
Joel Miller,
Michael Matthew Miller,
Nicole Carol Miller,
Philip D. Miller,
Robert Allen Miller,
Robert Cromwell Miller Jr.,
Benny Millman,
Charles M. Mills Jr.,
Ronald Keith Milstein,
Robert J. Minara,
William George Minordi,
Luis Joseph Minervino,
Thomas Mingione,
Wilbert Miral,
Dominic N. Mirkovich,
Rajesh Arjan Mirpuri,
Joseph D. Mistruli,
Susan J. Miskowski,
Paul
Miskowitz,
Paul Thomas Mitchell,
Richard P. Muccio,
Jeffrey Peter Mladenik,
Frank B. Motsia Sr.,
Louis Joseph Modaferri,
and my husband, Cesar Amorato Alviar. September 11, 2025 marks the 24th anniversary of the terror attacks and the loss of our loved ones. It is a day where we remember and commemorate the moment in our nation's history and honor its life lost during the attacks on September 11, 2001. It is also a day of hope, healing, and remembrance. Cesar, humble, caring, and loving husband, father, grandfather, is now our guardian angel. Thank you for always watching over us, especially this year. Together with our children, Christopher, Jeannie, and Gemma, our grandchildren, Riley, James, Grayson, Mina, and Maxie, whom you have never seen, our son-in-laws, Eric and Mark, daughter-in-law, Faith, relatives, and close friends, you are gone but will never be forgotten. We miss and love you always and forever. To continue your legacy, we founded the Cesar Albert Scholarship Fund. We have 5 college graduates and in high school in your alma mater at St. John's in Calamba, Laguna, Philippines. Thank you to the 9/11 organization, the NYPD, the first responders, and to Jojo, Vil, Digna, Mary, and Bunla for your love and support. God bless all the victims and their families. and God bless the United States of America.
And my aunt, Lucille Teresa King, and Local 1 IUEC hero, Chuck Costello. Never forget.
Bohi Mohammed,
Dennis Mojica,
Manuel D. Mojica Jr.,
Kleber Rolando Molina,
Manuel de Jesus Molina,
Carl Molinaro,
Justin John Mosilano Jr.,
Brian Patrick Monaghan,
Franklin Monahan,
John Gerard Monahan,
Kristen Lee Montanaro,
Craig Montano,
Michael G. Montesi,
Carlos Alberto Montoya,
Antonio de Jesus Montoya Valdez,
Cheryl Ann Maniac,
Thomas Carlo Moody,
Sharon Moore,
Krishna B. Morty,
Laura Lee DeFazio Morabito,
Abner Morales,
Carlos Manuel Morales,
Paula E. Morales,
Sonia Mercedes Morales Papalo,
Gerard P. Moran Jr.,
John Christopher Moran,
John Michael Moran,
Kathleen Moran,
Lindsay Stapleton Morehouse,
George Williams Morel,
Stephen P. Morello,
Vincent S. Morello,
Yvette Nicole Moreno,
Dorothy Morgan,
Richard J. Morgan,
Nancy Morgenstern,
Sanae Mori,
Blanca Robertina Morocho Morocho,
Leonel Geronimo Moracho Moracho,
Dennis Gerard Moroni,
and my brother Gerard F. Rousey. 24 years since the tragic day, and my heart aches every day. They say that time heals, but the truth is that time only teaches us how to carry the weight of missing someone forever. We miss you, we love you, forever in our hearts. Please continue to watch over us.
and my cousin Michael A. Marty, who would have celebrated his 50th this year. You are forever loved, forever missed, and always a guiding light we will never forget.
Lynn Irene Morris,
Odessa V. Morris,
Seth Allen Morris,
Steve Morris,
Christopher Martell Morrison,
Ferdinand V. Marone,
William David Moscow,
Brian A. Moss,
Marco Matroni,
Cynthia Modis Wilson,
Yuri A. Mochinsky,
Jude Joseph Musa,
Peter Mutos,
Damian O'Neill Mawat,
Teddington H. Moy,
Christopher Michael Mazzillo,
Stephen Vincent Mulderry,
Richard T. Muldowney Jr.,
Michael D. Mullen,
Dennis Michael Mulligan,
Peter James Mulligan,
Michael Joseph Mullen,
James Donald Munhole,
Nancy Muniz,
Francisco Haladio Munoz,
Carlos Mario Munoz,
Teresa Munson,
Robert Michael Muroc,
Cesar Augusto Murillo,
Mark A. Marolo,
Brian Joseph Murphy,
Charles Anthony Murphy,
Christopher W. Murphy,
Edward Charles Murphy,
James F. Murphy IV,
James Thomas Murphy,
Kevin James Murphy,
Patrick Jude Murphy,
Patrick Sean Murphy,
Raymond E. Murphy,
and my cousin, Port Authority Police Officer Christopher Charles Amoroso. I see all the signs. I know you're watching all of us. Continue. I love you, and I miss you always.
and my uncle, Michael Joseph Duffy, Although I never got the chance to meet you, the stories I've heard from our family serve as a constant reminder of just how tall of an order being named after you really is. I do my best to make you proud every day, and I think I'm doing a good job of honoring the extraordinary young man that you were. We miss you, and we love you like there's no tomorrow. God bless America, and we will never forget.
Robert Eddie Murphy, Jr.
John Joseph Murray.
John Joseph Murray.
Susan D. Murray.
Valerie Victoria Murray.
Richard Todd Myrie.
Louis J. Nackey II.
Robert B. Nagel.
Mildred Rose Naiman.
Takuya Nakamura.
Alexander John Robert Napier.
Frank Joseph Naples III.
John Philip Napolitano.
Catherine Ann Nardella.
Mario Nardun Jr.
Manika K. Narula.
Sean M. Nassany.
Narendra Nath.
Karen Susan Navarro.
Joseph M. Navis.
Francis Joseph Nazario.
Glenroy I. Neblet.
Raymond Marcus Neblet.
Jerome O. Ned.
Lawrence F. Nadal.
Luke G. Nee.
Pete Negron.
Lori Ann Nera.
Ann N. Nelson.
David William Nelson.
Ginger Risco Nelson.
James A. Nelson.
Michelle Ann Nelson.
Peter Allen Nelson.
Oscar Francis Nesbitt.
Gerard Terrence Nevins.
Renee Tatral Newell.
Christopher C. Newton.
Christopher Newton Carter.
Nancy Yon Nago.
And our Uncle Peter J. O'Neill Jr. Uncle Pete, our whole family misses you so much and wishes you were here. I wear the number 16 in the cross in your honor. We hope we are all making you proud.
Uncle Pete, Peter, Brendan, Bridget, Ellery, and I wish we met you. Mom and Papa tell us so many great stories about you. Thank you for always watching over us.
Kan Nyong Nguyen.
Jody Tepedino Nichio.
Kathleen Ann Nicosia.
Martin Stewart Niederer.
Alphonse Joseph Niedermeyer.
Frank John Needstadt Jr.
Gloria Nieves.
Juan Nieves Jr.
Troy Edward Nelson.
Paul Nimbley.
John Valentin Niven.
Catherine Magari Nowak.
Cordes Terrence Noel.
Michael A. Noth.
Daniel R. Nolan.
Robert Walter Noonan.
Jacqueline June Norton.
Robert Grant Norton.
Daniela Rosalia Notaro.
Brian Christopher Novotny.
Soichi Numata.
Brian Nunez.
Jose Nunez.
Jeffrey Roger Nussbaum.
James A. Oakley.
Dennis Patrick Oberg.
James B. O'Brien, Jr.
Michael P. O'Brien.
Scott J. O'Brien.
Timothy Michael O'Brien.
Daniel O'Callaghan.
Dennis James O'Connor, Jr.
Diana J. O'Connor.
Keith Kevin O'Connor.
Richard J. O'Connor.
Amy O'Doherty.
Marnie Pon O'Doherty.
Douglas E. Elschlager.
Tagashi Ogawa.
Albert Ogletree.
And my uncle, Ivan Luis Carpio Bautista,
who was a pillar and an inspiration to our family. Feliz cumpleaños, and it's an honor to be named after you.
And my uncle, Matthew Timothy O'Mahony. I wish you had the chance to meet my daughter, Mallory Jane O'Mahony. I promise to instill the love that you shared with everyone. We just celebrated Gigi's 90th birthday this weekend. All is good down here. We love you, and most importantly, we will never forget.
Philip Paul Ognibeni.
John A. Ognowski.
James Andrew O'Grady.
Joseph J. Ogren.
Thomas G. O'Hagan.
Samuel Otis.
Patrick J. O'Keefe.
William O'Keefe.
Gerald Michael Alcott.
Gerald Thomas O'Leary.
Christine Ann Allender.
Linda Mary Oliver.
Edward K. Oliver.
Leah Elizabeth Oliver.
Eric Taub Olson.
Jeffrey James Olson.
Barbara K. Olson.
Maureen Lyons Olson.
Stephen John Olson.
Matthew Timothy O'Mahony.
Toshihiro Onda.
Seamus L. O'Neill.
John P. O'Neill.
Peter J. O'Neill Jr.
Sean Gordon Corbett O'Neill.
Betty Ann Ung.
Michael C. Operman.
Christopher T. Olgowitz.
Margaret Quinn Orlasky.
Virginia Ann Ormiston.
Ruben S. Ornido.
Kevin M. O'Rourke.
Ronald Orsini.
Peter Keith Ortali.
Juan Ortega Campos.
Jane Marie Orth.
Alexander Ortiz.
David Ortiz.
Emilio Pete Ortiz.
Pablo Ortiz.
And to my brother, Michael Angel Trinidad. We love you, we miss you, and thank you for looking down upon us.
And I'd like to mention my coolest cousin, Steve Belson, a former swimmer, surfer, and lifeguard from Rockaway Beach, Queens, who served the FDNY for 23 years, most of them as a firefighter with Ladder Company 24, Engine 1 on 31st Street near Madison Square Garden. Steve was known as, quote, Mr. Ladder 24, and dedicated his life to rescuing others. Known by his fellow firefighters by the name Bells, Steve was on the 44th floor climbing up when the South Tower collapsed. He was only 51. And I know it's been 24 years since the terrorists linked to the Islamic extremist group Al-Qaeda destroyed the World Trade Center and killed nearly 2,800 people, shattering lives forever. Since that tragic day, over 5,000 individuals have lost their lives due to 9/11 related illnesses. I know my cousin Steve and many, many others would agree with me when I say, let's continue to press all politicians, including those who went home already, to firmly renounce terror and violence. When political candidates and public officials refuse to condemn global terror and phrases such as globalize the intifada, they are inviting another 9/11, God forbid. And they continue to bring daily fear for all New Yorkers. Enough. Enough is enough. It's 24 years later. We need all political candidates, including every single potential future mayor, and you know who I'm talking about, of this great city, to speak out against terror and unite as freedom-loving New Yorkers. God bless America, land of the free and home of the brave.
Paul Ortiz Jr.
Sonia Ortiz.
Masaru Osei.
Patrick J. O'Shea.
Robert William O'Shea.
Elsie Carolina Osorio Oliva,
James R. Ostrowski,
Timothy Franklin O'Sullivan,
Jason Douglas Oswald,
Michael John Otten,
Isidro D. Ottenwalder,
Michael Chung U,
Todd Joseph Oida,
Jesus Ovalis,
Peter J. Owens Jr.,
Arianas Oyula,
Anil M. Pabon Jr.,
Israel Pabon Jr.,
Roland Pacheco,
Michael Benjamin Packer,
Diana B. Padro,
Deepa Pakala,
Firefighter Jeffrey Matthew Palazzo, Rescue 5,
Thomas Palazzo,
Richard A. Palazzolo,
Oreo Joseph Palmer,
Firefighter Frank Anthony Palumbo, Ladder 105,
Alan N. Palumbo,
Christopher Matthew Panettiere,
Alan N. Palumbo,
Jonas Martin Panic,
Dominique Lisa Pandolfo,
Battalion Commander John M. Paulillo, Battalion 11,
Paul J. Pansini,
Salvatore T. Papasso,
Edward Joseph Papa,
Marie Papalardo,
James Nicholas Papa George,
Vijayashankar Param Sathi,
Vinod Parakat,
and my brother, Lieutenant Kenneth John Phelan Sr., FDNY, Engine 217 and Engine 207. Kenny, in the past 24 years, your absence at family gatherings is so palpable you can touch it, and is most palpable when it comes to your children and the special moments in their lives. It was 20 years ago that I stood at this podium and talked about your legacy and your children, Erin, Kim, Danny, and Kenny Jr., who were in grammar and high school at the time. You would be so proud of the young men and women that they have become. Kim is a New York City police officer, so proudly protecting the same city streets as you did for 8 years prior to becoming a New York City firefighter, and does so with great honor, pride, and respect while wearing your shield number 17348. She and her wife Vicky are proud parents of 2 of your grandchildren, Callie and Angelo Kenneth. Erin is a New York City school teacher, a career you thought you would have liked to have done once retired from the FDNY. Erin and her husband Craig, a firefighter with Rescue 4, are the proud parents of your other 3 grandchildren, Kendall, Kyle, and Caden. Yes, all K's and all tongue twister. Danny is an accountant and is living in the Adolph's house on the block we grew up on, the block you always dreamed of owning a home to raise your children. Kenny, or Little Kenny as he was called up until 9/11, you'd be so proud as he has chosen to follow your footsteps to become a New York City firefighter. He is a true legacy firefighter as he is 3rd-generation firefighter and so proudly serving the same city you did for 12 years and our dad, Danny Phelan, did for 20 years. And he does so while wearing with great honor, pride, and respect badge number 176, which was Daddy's, then yours, and now his. Kenny is happily married to Vanny. Kenny, continue to watch over your children and your grandchildren, and know that that you are forever in our hearts, always on our minds and in our thoughts, and we miss and love you.
And my cousin, Francis Joseph Nazario. Cousins are our first best friends. My memories of Francis are filled with family holidays, summer days swimming, and making mud pies in his backyard.
These beautiful childhood moments hold a place in my heart forever. The last memories I have of Francis were riding on the back of his jet ski a couple of weeks before 9/11. Though you were taken from us too soon, Francis, your spirit lives on in our hearts and in your daughter, Lena. Memories are treasures, especially when a loved one is taken too soon from us. On September 11th, the world, your spirit has never left us. You are my cousin, my first best friend, and you will be a piece of my heart forever.
Thank you. You too.
Pardai Parbu.
James Wendell Parham.
Deborah Marie Paris.
George Paris.
Jai Hyung Park.
Philip Lacey Parker.
Michael Elaine Parks.
Robert E. Parks, Jr.
Hashmunk C. Parmar.
Robert Paro.
Diane Marie Parsons.
Leobardo Lopez Pascual.
Michael J. Pascuma, Jr.
Gerald Hughes Paskins.
Horace Robert Pansananti.
Suzanne H. Passaro.
Avnish Ramanbai Patel.
Deepti Patel.
Manish Patel.
Stephen Bennett Patterson.
James Matthew Patrick.
Manuel D. Patrocino.
Bernard E. Patterson.
Clifford L. Patterson, Jr.
Sierra Marie Patty.
Robert E. Pattison.
James Robert Hall.
Patrice Paz.
Victor Hugo Paz.
Stacy Lynn Peak.
Richard Allen Perlman.
Durrell V. Purcell, Jr.
Thomas Nicholas Pecorelli.
Thomas Petticini.
Todd Douglas Pellino.
Mike Adrian Pelletier.
Anthony G. Peluso.
Angel R. Pena.
Robert Penninger.
Richard Al Penny.
And my grandfather, William J. Wick. Liam, Ryan, and I never met you, but we love you with all of our hearts.
And my sister, Jody Tepedino Nicolo. Tower 1, 105th floor, Cantor Fitzgerald. We miss you, Jody. We love you. And no day shall erase you from the memory of time.
Salvatore F. Pepe.
Carl Allen B. Peralta.
Robert David Peraza.
John A. Perconti, Jr.
Alejo Perez.
Angel Perez, Jr.
Angela Susan Perez.
Anthony Perez.
Ivan Antonio Perez.
Nancy E. Perez.
Barry Berenson Perkins.
Joseph John Peroncino.
Edward J. Parada.
Imelda H. Perry.
Glenn C. Perry Sr.
John William Perry.
Franklin Allen Pershep.
Danny Pesci.
Michael John Pescherine.
Davin N. Peterson.
Donald Arthur Peterson.
Jean Hotley Peterson.
William Russell Peterson.
Mark James Petrocelli.
Philip Scott Petty.
Glenn Karen Petit.
Dominic A. Pizzulo.
Kayleen Elizabeth Pasuti.
Kevin J. Pfeiffer.
Tuan Fan.
Lieutenant Kenneth John Phelan Sr.
Snee Ann Phillip.
Eugenia McCann Piantieri.
Ludwig John Picaro.
Matthew Picerno.
Joseph O. Pick.
Christopher J. Pickford.
Dennis J. Pierce.
Bernard Petronico.
Nicholas P. Petrunti.
And my father-in-law, firefighter Matthew Rogan. We miss you so much. We think about you all the time, and your courage inspires me to be a better man.
And my partner, Andrew J. Bailey. I'll never forget the fateful day when I spoke to you on the phone. You said something happened, and you was going to call me back. You didn't call me back. All I have is the
tips are being fully investigated.
Surround them with the protection of the angels and a joyful reunion with faithful loved ones. In your most holy name, amen. Please join me for a moment of silence for that minute of impact 24 years ago today.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, General Dan Kane, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Good morning, Madam First Lady, Secretary Hegseth, members of the President's Cabinet, and leaders from across government, the military, distinguished visitors, veterans, first responders, fellow Americans, and most importantly, the families of our fallen from that day. Thank you for being here to gather in remembrance, to grieve our nation's loss, and draw strength from the heroism Americans demonstrated that day. September 11th reminds us that even in the darkest of times, American strength endures. And if attacked, we will immediately fight back. 24 years ago, on a beautiful morning here in Washington, American Airlines Flight 77 took off at 8:20 a.m. from Dulles International Airport, with 59 passengers and crew bound for Los Angeles. Here at the Pentagon, soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guardmen, and civilians began what they thought would be an ordinary day of service. They kissed their loved ones goodbye, dropped kids off at daycare, and commuted in here for another day of duty, having no idea what they were about to face. 200 miles north of here, Al-Qaeda terrorists took control of 2 aircraft, American Airlines and United Airlines Flight 175. At 8:46 a.m., the first plane was flown deliberately into the North Tower. And minutes later, the second airplane was flown into the second tower. We all knew at that very moment that our world had changed, that America was at war. And then at 9:37 a.m., just moments ago, 24 years ago, American Airlines Flight 77 ripped through the West Wall here at the Pentagon, where our flag outside the building now hangs. And this ground that we stand upon became hollowed. 2,970 were lost in the attacks that morning. The conventional wisdom is that our nation went to war weeks later in Afghanistan.